Hello, everybody. This is my first YouTube live here on a laptop, so hopefully everybody could hear me. Just want to do a mic check, make sure everybody hears what I'm saying before I continue a conversation on. But we'll be talking about my season as a whole this year and how's it going, how it's been, what's going on in the future. You guys are more than welcome to ask me questions throughout the video. That's kind of the point of it. Just kind of interact. I know there's lots of rumors on what's going on with my career in the future, so I figure we touch all those bases and maybe talk about Jason's race coming up in a few weeks, the National Open this weekend, all those things. So stay tuned. If in the comments you guys could let me know if you could hear me good or not, and if so, we'll get this thing going. How you doing, Cole? It's going good. Could you hear me? All right, guys. So I guess I'll start this conversation off. All right. Sounds good, guys. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Now it's flowing. So this year has been a great year with JJR. Obviously, kind of going into the season a little bit nervous financially for JJR. Obviously, them racing without Jason, them adapting to me as a driver. There's a lot of question marks. Excuse me. I thought it was a big risk, but I had confidence in Philip and their qualifying efforts, and it's been really, really good. You know, we started off the season off just a little bit, and our last race, California, got a win and just picked up where we left off from there, and it's just been a great season. I think since Kings Royal, we've been the best car or just as good as anybody else on the World of Outlaw Tour. So definitely something to not hang your head about. If we just changed a few races earlier in the year, I think we would be right there with everybody. You know, Brad's got a little bit more wins than us, but we're only a couple top fives and top tens away from those people. So to win the Knoxville Nationals was awesome, and to win 8 races this year, 10 on the year total between our prelim night and the Capitani race. It's just been great. So I really could have asked for a better year. Just racing with these guys, it's just been a lot of fun. It's been very easy. There's been no arguing, just a lot of joking around, having fun, and all those things. So couldn't have asked for any more from JGR this year. So we got a lot of questions coming in, a lot of people talking. So I'll start picking up on some of those things. What are my feelings about California tracks? That's tough, man. I used to love California a lot more. Here lately, it seems California doesn't have a very good hold on their track surfaces. Tulare has kind of gone downhill. Stockton, I'm not a huge fan of. I would say Hanford's my favorite track there, probably Calistoga second. But Chico is just a tough place, usually a huge curb, and you just never know what you're going to get at Chico. Usually it's greasy and then maybe takes rubber. So just like a lot of people say they don't like Pennsylvania, I would say California is, not of my favorite states. So somebody asked me Eldora or Knoxville. I would have to go Knoxville. Eldora is number 2, though, so it's kind of a hard argument. But they're both great tracks, great facilities. They work on their safety, and a lot of fun to race at 9 times out of 10. All the way, keep it up. I met you at Eldora, and you signed my hat. You're welcome. That's kind of what I do. That's part of the job after races, signing people's stuff. So thank you for getting a hat. Aaron, yeah, I'm excited for the National Open, a track that's been very good to me, and very excited to, try to get another National Open win. Do you think Gio Scelzi will go on the World of Outlaw Tour in 2020? I don't know. By the sounds of it, no. I think he wants to keep his options open for his future, if that's with, excuse me, something in NASCAR or asphalt or midgets or sprint cars. If you commit to the World of Outlaw Tour, it's really hard to do anything else. David, how surprised are you how quick me, Tyler, Patrick, and Philip have gelled? It's one of those things you never know how it's going to go. You could be with good people and a good team and, still struggle. But I think us being all fairly close in age, everybody kind of being a low-key guy, it just worked out very, very well. It just seems like it was all meant to be, and it's been a great year. And, we're not all sick of each other at the end of the season, which that's hard to do. Have you ever raced in Australia? And I will race at Australia. I think you messed up on that last part, glorious grunt. But yes, I've been to Australia 3 times, and I don't know if I'll be back. The World of Outlaws schedule is just enough racing for me, that's for sure. Did you like Willamette Speedway? Yeah, I like Willamette. They overwatered it this past time, and it was just starting to get good here at the end of the A main, and which was a longer race, so they didn't have it as wet. Let's see what we got. Top 3 favorite tracks: Eldora, Knoxville. Third one's tough. I always liked Limeland. I like Lernerville. Probably Lernerville. Why? Eldora, Knoxville have the biggest paying races, have the best facilities, and 9 times out of 10 the track's going to be good. And Lernerville, most of the time it's going to be good, but track suits me well and just have a lot of fun there. So those are my top 3. Have you ever raced in Australia? Love you, Knoxville Nationals. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Are you going to come up to New York and race at Weedsport in 2020? It'll be a blast seeing you up there. That's not up to us. That's up to the World of Outlaws. It seems like every time we go to Weedsport, it rains out. So, I mean, if, it doesn't rain, we'll be there, hopefully. Eric, will I be back at JGR next year? That's something that I don't know yet. We hope to figure that all out in the near future and go from there. Holly, no problem. That's part of my job, fan interaction. If it's not for the fans coming to the races, then we can't have races and pay the World of Outlaw purse. So without you guys, it's not possible, and that's our way of giving back to you guys is interacting, signing autographs, taking pictures. Hardest driver to pass on the World of Outlaw Tour? Man, that's tough to say. It could be some people are really good on heavy tracks. Some guys are good on slick tracks. I think everybody's pretty tough if they're good. If people are struggling, I guess it would be hard to pass them. But I would say Donnie Schatz would probably be the toughest one, just because he's one of the most consistent guys, and he's really good at keeping his speed up. Balin, I definitely won't be taking the wing off. No non-wing racing for me. Just midgets. I seen somebody ask, am I racing the FMR car at Chili Bowl this year? That's the plan. So plan to be there again in the same car. Brandon, twin turbo or the Viper? I mean, I would love to, but I think those builds for Vipers are like $100,000 or something. So definitely not in the budget. How exciting is it for you to have Jax up on the car with you in victory lane? That was a really cool moment. Going into the year, our goal was to make Jax involved, make him feel loved, and I think that's one way to do it. He hasn't been able to come to a lot of races, so Those things are tough. So make sure when he was there, he had a good time. So it's been cool see him grow up as a little boy and turn into a little guy. It's pretty cool. I'm looking to start midgets. Do you have any advice? Just make sure it's in your budget. It's still fairly expensive to race midgets. Micros definitely be a little bit of a cheaper option, but do your research on how much it costs to race, how long engines last before rebuilds, and all those things. So, all right, guys, there's lots and lots of questions. I'll probably not get to all of them. If you donate money or show support for me, those questions pop up first. So no hard feelings, hopefully, if I don't answer your question. Ron says you're damn good at Wilmot every year. Yeah, that place, man, we were good there this year, just kind of ran out of laps. It's just one of those things. Almost won again. I feel like every time I've been there, we've been fast. So love Wilmot, love Wisconsin, love the fans. They do a great job of showing support and buying a lot of T-shirts. That's for sure. Bew, sorry couldn't make it to Lernerville, man. We had a little bit of a rain delay, but it turned out being all right. Outdoorsman says, do you like Williams Grove? Yeah, I like Williams Grove. It could be good or it could be bad. I wish they stepped up the safety side of things there and updated the facility a little bit. But, I mean, that track's treated me very well. The fans are very passionate, show a lot of support, and, that's always great. Always a great atmosphere there. Do you see Jax in the car in about 8 years? I mean, that's up to Bobby. He loves driving his quad around, loves driving his quarter midget and all those things. So we'll see. You never know. I think there's a shot he'll race quarter midgets or maybe micros one day, but I don't know about sprint cars. Race Fan 17V, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Dodge City, we were fast there, and thank you to MedStar keeping us safe and all those things. I appreciate what you guys do for us, and wish you guys were at every race because I feel fire and safety are some things that we lack at some facilities when they're in the middle of nowhere. So thank you, and hopefully we'll see another race soon. My least favorite track, I'm not going to pinpoint one, but there's been a couple over the years that I haven't liked too much, but we typically don't race there anymore. So thank God. We'll be going to Oswego while at Fulton. No, we don't race Fulton this year. This is the first year in several years that we don't race Fulton during the Super Dirt Week. So I will not be at Oswego or Fulton. Top 3 favorite NASCAR drivers. Kyle Larson. I don't know who else would be my favorites. It would be current top 3. So I don't know who my current guys would be. So we'll see. Ricky Stenhouse, I'm friends of. So Ricky would probably be number 2. Probably Denny Hamlin also. He has a David Gravel t-shirt. So got to support him. Nike 67. Do you like Cedar Lake? Yes, I love Cedar Lake. Wisconsin is probably one of my favorite racetracks or states to race in. Fans are extremely passionate, and it seems like a lot of the tracks in Wisconsin are really fun to race at. Do you know Tanner Holmes? I know he does YouTube. I know he's a sprint car driver out there, but I don't know him personally. Could you win in lesser equipment? I mean, when I had my own team, the 89G, we had Mopar engines. At that time, nobody else really ran Mopars anymore. I never won in the 59 car. Never won in Bill Rose's car, but I feel anything's possible, and I'm confident I could get the job done for sure. How did I get started racing? Quarter midgets when I was 6 years old. Just never stopped racing from then. Went to micros, then went to 360 sprint cars, and then now the 410s. So started in 1999. Again, guys, I'm not going to get to all your guys' questions. If you put a small donation there, your question pops up, and I can answer those quickly. But if not, that's totally fine. I'm not expecting you guys to do that. But if I don't answer your question, I probably have 150 right now to go through. So it's going to be really hard to get through them all. Have you ever thought about driving a late model or a modified Jetty 2X? I wouldn't mind trying a late model. My season's just very, very busy. I don't really have time to race anything else other than the Chili Bowl. So I don't know. We'll see one day. Maybe if Scott Bloomquist asks me, I'll drive his because his is pretty fast. Cole said, you're going to get iRacing over the winter. I drive for Craig Kinzer. Time for you to start on a team. I've always been too cheap or didn't never had a nice enough computer to have iRacing. I feel like the winter time really, really goes by fast with the Chili Bowl, PRI show, holidays, and then just trying to relax and stay rejuvenated for the next season. So one day I'll probably get iRacing, and I've always liked video games and all that stuff. So you never know, maybe I'll start my own team. Tommy Spencer said, would you like to try Midgets or Chili Bowl? I ran the Chili Bowl, I think, probably 5 times now. The last 2 years I ran for Frank Manafort in the 76 car and made the show last year. So, Tommy, you got to step up your game on following the Chili Bowl. Will you be in Terre Haute October 12th? Yes, I will. It's a World of Outlaw race. I'm a World of Outlaw driver, so I will be there. Jack, I'm doing good. How are you, sir? Do you like Eagle or I-80? Yeah, I like both of those tracks. I don't think we've been there in a couple years. Went to Eagle 2 or 3 years ago, and I-80 a year before that. So definitely tracks that are fun. Eagle was a track I always wanted to go to, and finally got to race there a couple years ago when Kyle Larson drove Ricky Stenhouse's car and won. And fun tracks for sure. Hopefully we could go there again. Red U.S. Marines, met you at Skagit when you got the track record. How you doing, man? Qualifying's been our strong suit, and hopefully we could win some more races other than just qualifying well. I think we're up to like 18 quick times. Wish that was 18 wins, but hopefully we get to 10 this year. Have you ever been to 34 Raceway? I believe so. I think that's where Brad Sweet's car got ripped in half. I think that's Burlington, Iowa, to my knowledge. So we'll see. Hopefully we go there again. I know the All-Stars race there. How many races until Gravy Fairchild gets the first win? I think he's far away from that. Maybe he needs to have a gym routine and get some more practice laps. But it's not winning Outlaw shows, that's for sure. But he's a fan favorite. I think if he ran full time, he might sell the most T-shirts. That's for sure. Who do you respect most as a sprint car racer, past and present? Definitely respect, Steve Kinzer and Sammy Swindell for them to race as long as they did. For Steve to do the Outlaw Tour as long as he did, that's just flat out impressive. Donnie Schatz, I say, is the modern of those guys to race as long as he did on the road that long. That's a hard thing to do, and give them a lot of respect. So, those 3 guys for sure. Jackson, do you like Port Royal? Yes, like Port Royal. I definitely think that's my favorite PA track right now. They put a lot of effort in the facility, put a lot of effort in the fan experience, adding new stands, adding a wall for safety, getting the pits nicer. I think they do everything right. And, man, it's one of those things. People reward people that put in a hard effort and make things better. So, Pat, do you miss Rose Pizza or Dabley's Pizza? I've honestly never been to Rose Pizza, and Dabley's, man, it's been forever. So can't say I miss those, but I miss what do I miss? Pepe's Pizza would be one. Dominic and Vinny's, Dominic and Pia. Those are some of my favorites. Definitely Sally's and Modern. Definitely gonna go to New Haven here shortly and get some pizza. Can't wait to see you kick some ass this weekend at Williams Grove. Yes, Cam, me too. Looking forward to it. Peyton, do you know Tony Stewart? Yes, I know Tony Stewart. I have his cell phone number, so I guess that proves that he knows me too. Let's see, we got a new question. Is Doug Wolfgang still doing stuff in the world of Outlaws? Thank you, sir, for the donation. To my knowledge, no. When his kid raced sprint cars, he came around a lot more when we raced Huset's, but obviously Huset's doesn't race anymore. I haven't seen him at Knoxville in a while, so I think he's still probably building a couple Wolfwell chassis and stuff like that, but I do not think he's really involved anymore. I think he probably wishes he could still race. He's always been a competitive guy, and it's tough as a driver to go to the races and watch. It's a lot easier to go there and race. It's just weird when you race for so long to go to a race and just hang out. Let's see. Man, there's a lot of questions. So sorry, guys, if I don't answer these all. Have you ever ran a wing sprint car in asphalt? No, I have not. I'm sure it's pretty intense. It's got to be really fast because on dirt it's fast, and asphalt, man, you probably never slipped a tire. So I haven't yet. I don't know if I really have much interest doing it. Seems like they're not too popular nationwide, but never say never. Do you feel like shock setup are the biggest way to get speed? King Ranch, no, I wouldn't say that. Great at running engines, aerodynamics is big, but also having enough grip to be in the track. I think shocks have something to do with it, but not everything. So it's a whole package. Anything on the horizon with Exalta? I hope so. I hope to hear some news here in the next couple weeks. I think we did pretty well for an audition for him in Knoxville, and they seem to be very happy. So looking forward to finding out how they want to be involved in my racing career. So looking forward to that. How would you suggest someone get into racing? All depends on your age. If you're young, I mean, you can go to a sprint car race, go to a modified race, check it out, see if you like it. And if so, maybe start racing yourself, but it's expensive sport, expensive hobby. I feel that with iRacing and all those things that are way more realistic now, that's always a good option. But it takes money, so it's tough. But hard work and dedication. If you get your foot in the door somewhere, show somebody you want to work hard. Anything's possible. So you could always go that route. What can we bring you and the team to eat at the track? Got to get you guys off the gas station food. Thanks, Jason. Obviously, you watch my videos and see what's going on. I mean, anything's good. Anything that's cooked at home or made at home is always good for us. It could be, it looks like you got a bow and arrow there. If you got any venison, we'd love some backstrap or maybe some jerky or something like that. So we're men, so we like protein. So whatever you want to bring us, we'll eat it. Thank you. Peyton asked, have you ever raced a 600? Yes, I have. That's what I ran for 2 seasons. I ran it mostly in Pennsylvania. And after that, went 360 racing. So Gator Boy says, see you in Charlotte, World Finals. We'll see you there. And it's an awesome weekend. So many people that I know across the country go there and show up. And it's a big relief for the season to be over and have the banquet to cap it all off. Wes says, what is up with your Viper? Have you gotten any track time with it? I've not been on the track with it yet. I plan on probably going to the drag strip one time with it, but it needs tires. They're 355s, but they're wore out, so I don't have too much grip with them. And I know if I went, I would be discouraged and fight traction issues. So hopefully this winter I'll be able to go. Any suggestions to on how to find rides for Tulsa Shootout or Chili Bowl. Micro 119. My advice is if you race micros, you probably have a better chance of getting a micro ride. But people want to hire people that are winners and are good people. So hopefully you're one of those things. And all you got to do is ask, man. You got to call around, even if there's a sniff that possibly there's an opening. You got to call and see. You might get let down a bunch of times, but it takes just one call to get a deal. Dave Sauter says, "See you this weekend. Traveling from Wisconsin. We will see you then, buddy." Ryan, paid question, says, "Bringing the New York fan club to the port end of the month, and we'll see you in Connecticut. We will bring down back steep if we get one before port." I'm guessing that means, oh, okay, bring down backstrap. All right, awesome. Thank you, Ryan. That would be awesome if you get a deer, man. We love backstrap, and that's one of my favorites. So much appreciated. We'll see you at port, and we will see you at the Stag hopefully the following week, man. Always been a great supporter, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Do you prefer horsepower all the time, or do you guys run a smaller horsepower motor on the quarter-mile tracks? I mean, we have a quote-unquote short track and big track motor, but they're all capable. They all make good power, and they're all good. So, sorry guys, there's a guy talking smack on here, so I'm just taking care of him. Obviously, there's some immature people, so just gonna get rid of him real quick, and we'll be good to go. All right, I'm back. Andrew Reck, today's your birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. Hopefully, it was a good one. What's your favorite food? Definitely like steak, steak and Italian food and pizza. I'm a foodie, so I like a lot of different things. So I'm not too picky. Another paid question from Ryan Fansler. When I get my custom 1/18th custom of my car done, would you want to see it? Heck yeah. If you're coming to any races this year, bring it by. I'll come sign it for you. I know there's a couple people in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin that do custom ones, so I'm not sure if you got them done through those guys, but very cool. Thank you for being a fan and supporter. And you need me to sign that thing, come to a race, and I'll sign it for you, buddy. Thank you. Adam says, "Was I the one talking smack?" No, somebody was swearing on there, saying some dumb stuff, so had to report them, get them gone. How much does it cost total to run the World of Outlaw Tour? I don't know that question. There's a lot of variables. I mean, I think just operating costs to pay the crew, to rebuild engines, diesel fuel, hotel rooms. What else? Tire bill. I think you could easily spend about 400,000 just on operating costs between paying 3 crew guys, paying a driver, rebuilding engines, and all those other things I said. So if you want to go racing on the World of Outlaw Tour and you have nothing, I would say you need $1 million, and that's cutting it close. If buying a truck and trailer, 4 or 5 engines, buying everything, I would say you need $1 million to start a team and then to run a full season. Saw you Saturday night at Lernerville, but didn't get a chance to come back and get a picture. Hopefully next time. Yeah, man, after the races is the best time. If you don't see me outside by the car, it's me getting changed, and then usually I come back out. So sorry about that. Ever want to try a demo derby or enduro? I mean, maybe for fun. But the thing is, man, my spare time I like to drag race, work on my cars. So I've never really bored. So when I have spare time, uh, I just like to hang out or play with my toys. Let's see, what do we got here? Holy moly, guys. Got a lot of questions for me. Eldora is my home track. Can't wait to see you in the team in 2020. We'll see you there. How many motors does JJR have? JJR has 4 engines. Luckily, we had a sponsor purchase another one this year and won the Knoxville Nationals with it. So now we have 5, but the team owns 4. Column says, hey, David, any plans on coming back to Australia? We have your picture up in the club rooms at Simpson Speedway and Victoria. The track has changed a lot since you raced there. I always had fun at Simpson. I know they had the huge horse flies there, the biggest flies I've ever seen in my life. But I had fun racing there. That seemed to be the only track I ever did good at. I always had other issues racing at the other places, but I had fun there. Okay, we have another $5 question. 19 Dirt Tracker. Any good driver beefs we may not know about? I don't think that's my place to spill all the beans, but I think you can see who gets into each other and who doesn't. Shane Stewart and Carson Macedo got into it at Skagit. But other than that, man, we race together so much that there's going to be run-ins with everybody. We're intense. We try really hard, and it's bound to happen. So just part of racing, but nothing serious. I say everybody typically gets along pretty well. How often do you swap out motors for refresh? We run anywhere from 10 to 18 races on motors. The big track motors only run about 10, and then our short track engines will probably go around 15 to 16, but that all varies on lots of other things. How much is a World Volla entry fee? You just need to buy the membership, which is like $100 for the year, and then you just got to get a pit pass to get in the show. So there's no entry fee at every race. When you had your car on the dyno, how did you start it? Excuse me. There's hubs on the dyno, and there's a huge starter underneath the ground, and we got the car in gear, and that thing is strong enough to spin the tires, build the fuel pressure and oil pressure up, and hit the switch. It's pretty cool. Nathan Fulton says, DGR, how do you feel you ran at Lernerville? Nathan, we ran really well. Obviously, quick time. Was able to win our heat race, and then kind of drawing the 7 in the dash was a big bummer. Kind of put a dampener on our night. I feel if it didn't rain and the track was a little slicker, then we would have had a better shot at winning the race. But Brad started on the pole, and we started 7th and got to 3rd. Felt like we could have finished 2nd, but ran 3rd. Jocelyn, hello. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully to see you soon. Ryan says, will you win at Lake Ozark Speedway in October? I hope so. It's a place that I want to win. I finished 2nd twice at, and it would be really cool to win the Jason Johnson Classic, that's for sure. I really want to win that pit bike. I've been looking at a pit bike for a while, and it would be really sweet. If I could win that race, I think it would mean a lot to a lot of people. Let's see. Oh, wow, guys. You're keeping the questions coming. I'm not complaining. Thank you. Like I said, if you want to stick out in between the crowd, I'm not missing your stuff. Just a small donation. I can answer that thing right away for you. Can you make it 2 in a row at Tri-State next weekend? Man, that's a track that's treated me very, very well. You just never know in what car how it's going to react. I feel if we have had a struggle this year, it would be on short tracks with grip. So if we get that thing freed up and able to do my thing there, I think we'll be good. So we'll see, man. It's a place I've been fast at. So looking forward to Hopstad. It's always a fun time. Peyton asks how old I am. I'm 27 years old. For local drivers, the 360 For local drivers, the 360 race at Lernerville, Lincoln is a local 358 track. Yes, I see 358s announced they'll be having normal wings next year, so that would be interesting. I think the small wings were something that didn't really seem to make much sense because they're kind of obsolete and they're not run anywhere else. I feel if they go back to normal wings, that people could buy them secondhand, and they'll be more relatable if they ever move up to the 410 ranks. So let's see. How long has JJR used Kistler engines? I don't know that exact question. I think when they started the World of Outlaw Tour is when they started with Kistlers, but don't quote me on that. So I'm saying about 4 or 5 years. Want to race at Valvoline Raceway in Australia one day? For sure. That's a track I haven't been to, and it looks like probably the most popular other than Warrnambool in the Classic. So definitely looks like a fun place. Drew Pierce says, any future deals through Jeff Gordon? That is something that hopefully I'll find out soon what's going on. But Jeff's been a great friend to me, and he's working hard to help my career out. So we will see. All right, we got a paid question here from West 18 Racing. How do you feel about Granite City Speedway? And sorry about the wall taking away your win. I feel like there's 2 Granite City Speedways. You have to maybe clarify and comment down at which one Granite City is. I think that's the one where they have the Gold Crown race at. If that's the track, I raced there at ASCS race, and it's a lot of fun. Takes rubber sometimes, but I love the shape, and it's a racy joint. So hopefully that's the right track you're talking about. Do you have any future star car helmet designs coming in the near future? I just debuted one a couple races ago, and it's got the star on the side. And I have one more. I think they kind of all have stars on them. So I'll be debuting a new helmet Friday and Saturday for National Open. So looking forward to that. Oh, Granite City, Minnesota. Oh, yeah. That's when the cushion was really built up. And almost won. Yeah, the wall didn't really cost me. Brad Sweet did the same thing. Just I think he was a touch better than me and just was able to get the job done. But that was a fun, exciting race, and hopefully enjoyed it because I did. 19 Dirt Track Racer. Will JJR have stuff at the Harrisburg swap meet? I like buying good World of Outlaw takeoffs from KKR, CJB, and locals. I'm sure he bought stuff from CJB in the past and was probably some of the stuff I drove. I feel like it's smart to get hand-me-downs from the big teams. I feel we don't run stuff very, very long, and if you're running 305s or 360s, it'll last you a long time. So I don't know where JGR sells their stuff, but I would say Harrisburg would be too far for them to travel to sell stuff there. I know if you're interested in cars, you could go through Maxim, as we trade our cars in at the end of the year. So we will have stuff available. If you're interested in buying specific things, probably get a hold of us on social media, the JJR Racing Facebook page or Twitter page. I'm sure we could help you out. Peyton says Tyler Courtney or Brady Bacon. That all depends. They're both my friends. I would say all around, if you're running 4 classes and a wing car, I would say Brady Bacon. If you're just going to pick non-wing sprint cars and midgets, maybe Tyler Courtney, but I feel Brady's maybe a little bit more well-rounded. Let's see. Got another Brian Dixon. The paid question, do you prefer tracks with walls or without walls? I would say with walls. I don't hate tracks without walls, but I've just always grown up around tracks with walls. And just what I'm used to. The curb could build up and you can't fly off the track. Sometimes Chico gets sketchy with the cushion far up on top of the track, and you could fall off pretty easily. So it's one of those things. I just prefer something with walls, even though Lernerville is a good track for me. Definitely, I like them all. Can't be too picky. Pat asks, is your biggest fan from Watertown? Joe T. I mean, he's definitely one of my biggest fans. He's a big fan of Shark Racing and those guys too. So, no doubt, one of my biggest. He's top 5 for sure. Crane operator says, how do you and Little Hog get along? Me and Sheldon get along great. Early in my career with our own team, we couldn't afford a shop, and we kind of lived out of his house and raced out of his shop, and we're good friends. So everything's good with me and him. Sorry, guys, if I missed some of your questions, but they all blend together. So just trying to pick out ones that pop out at me or ones that are paid questions. CSI Shocks, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with the quarter midget kids at Eldora this weekend. No problem, man. It was fun for me. Got to see a lot of people that I race quarter midgets with or haven't seen in a while. So it was worth it just as much for me as for everybody else. So happy to be there and hopefully give the kids some motivation to want to be race car drivers as their career. If you're not running a World of Outlaws sprint car, what other series / car would you run? My first dream of being a race car driver was to be a NASCAR driver. Growing up in Connecticut, we didn't have dirt tracks, and that was just my initial goal, and still is to this day. But I'm very happy racing World of Outlaws. And it's been very, very good to me. Thoughts on River City Speedway? River City's an intense place. Packed the stands. Fans are very passionate there, and it's a great place. So the only thing I could say that I don't like about it is the safety side. I feel they need to do some serious overhauling on the safety side. You could just launch off the top of the track into poles, kind of like how you saw this year, where a guy got lodged up and on top of a 20, 30-foot pole, and luckily that pole didn't go through the driver. So if they bump up the safety side of it, I think they'll be top 5 or 10 track in the country for sure. Luke 37, Waterbury, Connecticut in the house. How you doing, man? Glad to have local Connecticut people support me, and especially on here. Thank you very much. Matt Mayo says, thoughts on Bakersfield Speedway? I like Bakersfield a lot. It's a small track, but it's pretty fun. I would say it's higher on my list of tracks for California for sure. So definitely somewhere I like to race at, and hopefully we're there next year. We'll see. Raz 406, I just want to hear more about the Mustang. Raz, it looks like you got some sort of S197 Mustang in your profile pic there, but it's just a 2005 Mustang that I got senior year in high school. Started off with just bolt-ons and raced it for fun. Then it just got progressively more intense. Put a supercharger on it, built the engine, then went to a T56 Magnum trainee, and had the goals of going 9s and was able to go 9s this winter. So not many stick shift 3-valve supercharged cars going that fast. So it's been a fun car, but today's standards, it's just not fast anymore. There's just so many fast cars out there nowadays. Jakey D says, thoughts on the Nashville race? We had a great crowd Saturday. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people came to come and enjoy the event, but the racetrack was not a sprint car track. Needs some banking, needs to be a little bit wider, and just definitely need to work on the racetrack, that's for sure. James H., could you start your own team? If I had the funding and sponsorship to do it, but if you heard me before, I would say you need $1 million to start from scratch and then race the full season, and that would be on an extremely tight budget. So, I mean, I don't have $1 million laying around, that's for sure. What is a race that would mean a lot to you to win that you haven't already? Kings Royal. Eldora, I've usually been pretty good there. Have won a couple races there, but not the Kings Royal. So, I won the National Open and now the Knoxville National. So, definitely be Kings Royal. And then after that would probably be Jason's race this year, obviously for a lot of reasons. T Bizzle, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Hopefully, we'll be able to see you at a race here, hopefully at Jason's race. Kyle Kramer, thank you for the donation, buddy. Very generous. Thoughts on Big Sky Speedway in Montana, and if they race late models next year as a support, would you drive one if we had a car ready? Big Sky, that place is fun. I mean, the first time I went there, I did not know that there was a racetrack there, kind of in the middle of a field, but it raced well, and we were able to get the win there. So it was definitely a fun track for us this year. Would I drive a late model if you had a car ready? Man, I don't know. It's one of those things. You're so focused on doing your job in one class. Donnie Schatz does it when he's at River Cities. But if I'm in a points battle or are really struggling and really need to figure out why we are struggling, I feel it's important to give my team 100% of my mental capacity and effort to make it better. So I would probably say no, but you never know. He might change my mind. James, have I ever wanted to run the Four Crown? I mean, we ran the Four Crown on Friday, just not the day of all the USAC races. Eldora kind of scares me in non-wing cars. Rico's crashed a bunch of times in a midget. And maybe run a Silver Crown car, but I don't know. Racing 4 different cars in one night or 3 different cars in one night. I don't know. We'll see. Pyro Shock says, do you have a nickname? Not to my knowledge, buddy. Love what you're doing with JJR and all the stuff you have done to involve Jax. Good luck the rest of the year. Thank you, man. It's been fun. Hopefully Bobby and Jax are happy with the decision to have me drive the car. You plan running at Beaver Dam next year with the World of Outlaws? The World of Outlaws are there, and I'm on the World of Outlaw tour. I will be there. Bryce Barber says, heard you had an offer to run for Jack Rouse this year. Was that true? Man, you know that, and I don't, so I don't think so. But Jack Roush calls, that would be a dream come true. My dad had a Roush Mustang when I was younger, and he's obviously one of the biggest owners in NASCAR. Favorite track other than the Big E? I would have to go with Limaland. Limaland and Waynesfield would probably be my 2, but really miss going to Limaland. Always thought that track put on great racing, and really sad we can't go there anymore. Zach says, thoughts on Cedar Lake Speedway? Love that track. Again, if you heard before, I love Wisconsin. They have a lot of great tracks, a lot of great fans, and every time you go there, the stands are packed, and seems to be a lot of David Gravel supporters. Do you prefer big tracks or the small Bullring tracks, and which one fits your driving style and why? I would say I like big tracks better than small, but I like 3/8 probably the best. I think they put on the best racing and kind of is an in-between, not too fast, not too slow. Sharon Furlan says, hey, David, Gravel's in Vermont saying hey and enjoy your YouTube. Congratulations on the heck of a season. Thank you very much. What, Mom? She's married. She's a gravel. Oh, okay, she's a gravel, but married. Very cool. Well, hello, and hopefully get to meet you sometime. I know the gravel family likes to race up there, so we're keeping this thing going. All right, guys, trying to pick through these questions here. Would you run a Silver Crown car on a mile? Yeah, I would try it out for sure. It looks like it's fun and difficult. I think it's kind of one lane, but you got to have a lot of discipline with your tires and keeping the car underneath you. Yeet Bro says, "What's your favorite track in New York?" Man, I went to so many over the years with the All Stars that it's hard to remember all of them. So, man, that's tough. Like Lebanon Valley was always close to home, so that always has a special place in my heart. But I'm trying to think. Can't answer that one, man. Not sure. It's been too long. Ethan Walker asks, "Would you ever go to IndyCar?" Um, I mean, if I ever got an opportunity, I probably can't say no. But no doubt, those cars are wild. They're not going back to Pocono, because they're scary. So and crash pretty bad. So definitely take some balls to go 220 miles an hour in an open wheel car. That's for sure. But I definitely would like to try it. See how I do. I Race It All says, "When will we see a video about your F-150?" When I have some time, I'm going to Florida here after Williams Grove. Not sure if I'll have time to do a video on the truck, but possibly. I feel not many people know about the Roush Nightmare trucks and maybe shed a little light on them. Would you run the 360 Nationals at East Bay in February? Probably not. I might be on my honeymoon that week. We will see. Jordan says, "I've been a Shots fan my entire life, but after meeting you at this year's Nationals, I'm excited to watch you continue to progress. Bought a bunch of 41 stuff. Best of luck." Well, thank you very much, Jordan. Appreciate it. Hopefully, we can convert you fully over to a David Gravel fan one day, but appreciate it for buying apparel and being a fan of mine. Let's see. It's hard to get through all these. Again, if I miss your questions and you really want me to answer it, put a small donation and I'll answer it for sure. Nebraska Cornhuskers are Iowa Hawkeyes. I don't follow college football that close. I don't have enough time to follow that in NFL, so I would have to say Iowa Hawkeye just because Tyler Swank's my buddy. Have you been to all 50 states? I have not been to Alaska and Hawaii, but I've been to all 48 here in the continental U.S., so. Austin Holland says, "Do you prefer a slick track?" Hell yes, I do. It's safer, puts on better racing, and we don't get strung out on wing racing. If the track's too fast, there's just not much passing, so all for slick tracks. Diane, thank you for the comment. I appreciate that, and try the best I can. So when there's a lot of questions that come in, they just all kind of freeze up and then kind of get to the bottom. So sorry if I missed your guys' stuff. Did you ever race at Middletown, New York? Yes, I did. I think I've raced there 2 or 3 times. The Outlaws used to go there, and now they don't. So maybe I've seen they put a bunch of money in the facility and try to rejuvenate that place. So maybe the Outlaws will go there again one day. Do you guys use new tires for every A main? No, not all the time. If the track's wet and not eating up tires, we will run our used tires or run the same tire we did all night. Do you personally own a sprint car, James? We have a car from the 89G. It's pretty much a roller, but we're just kind of keeping it for sentimental value. It just sits in the corner here in Connecticut, and probably will never sell it. Let's see. Do you get paid by t-shirt sales, or how does that all work? It all depends on your situation. If you have your own t-shirt trailer and motorhome or truck and pull it behind, you buy all the shirts, you pay somebody to sell them for you, and you keep the money. So There's been situations where teams controlled all that. Some people join in on people's t-shirt trailers and have to pay them a percentage of what their sales are. There's lots of different situations. So the thing is, you definitely do not get rich off t-shirts. You're traveling up and down the road, spending diesel fuel, paying people to work it, and then plus the cost of the shirts. People think maybe some guys get rich, but you make a little bit of money, but it's a lot of work, that's for sure. We have a big paid question here. Has your merchandise sales increased since Nationals? I bought the last Nationals hoodie at Placerville. How you doing, Chris? Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for the donation. Have they increased? I think right after Nationals, I had a big boost in sales. But other than that, nothing too crazy. Our Knoxville shirts, we are splitting between me and the team. So I won't know exactly how we do in sales till the end of the year. So I'm sure they're pretty good. And if you guys ever need anything, we have stuff on Arizona Raceware's website, R&R's website, and also my personal page, davidgravel.com. So between those three sites, we should be able to get you what you need. Let's see. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for this guy, Born Racer. Yeah, thank you guys. If you don't know, but thumbs up, comments, all those things help me out. So a simple click of the thumbs up would be great. Tristan asked, do I like midgets? Yeah, I like midgets. I love running the Chili Bowl. I have a lot of fun running the Chili Bowl. Got to put her in the show last year, and that was definitely a great accomplishment for me. Something that wanted to show people I could drive other cars and do it at a high level, and was able to do that. Roger says, are you driving for JGR next year? I do not know yet, and hope to know here in a few weeks, and hopefully have some sort of press release. What's harder to win, Knoxville Nationals or Chili Bowl? I would say Knoxville Nationals. There's a lot of luck in both, but at the end of the day, Knoxville Nationals is hard to win. Chili Bowl is too, but I'm a little bit biased, obviously. Thoughts on Christopher Bell buying his own car? I mean, good for him. He obviously loves dirt racing, and he wants to race whenever he wants. So it's probably hard for him with his odd schedule of NASCAR to fit in sprint car races. Well, now he could race whenever the heck he wants. So I think it just becomes a lot more convenient for him, and hopefully has a team one day. What's your opinion on the new Ford motor? I don't know if I have an opinion right now. I don't know the price of one. I feel if they're going to be extremely expensive, I think it's not good for the sport, but I always like competition. It was pretty cool when Mopar was in sprint car racing pretty hard, and it brought a competition. Mopar's kind of dominated there for a few years, and then they kind of fell out of the sport, and then it's been Chevy since. So I like all makes and models, but I love Ford. So, that would be cool if they bring a sprint car motor back. But if not, we'll be running Chevys and be proud of doing that. Let's see. Is there going to be a video from Lernerville? Was there watching you? Yes, there will be. Probably post one tomorrow or Wednesday. Have some in-car footage and got to compile that all together. So thought I'd do the YouTube live here to start the week off, and then create some videos from Jacksonville, Eldora, and Lernerville coming up. So Big Johnny Rock says, how many times do you adjust your wing during a race? Man, I don't know. It all depends. Sometimes none, sometimes 10 times. It just all varies. So all depends on how good or bad your car is and track conditions. Congrats on a great season so far. What are your goals for the rest of the season? Well, we have 8 Outlaw wins right now. I would really love to get to double-digit wins. So I think I have 47 career wins. So if we got the 10, that would put me at 49, and I really want to try to get that 50th. So um, I'd have to win 3 races in the last 10. So I got my work cut out, but I think we can do it. Williams Grove's been a great track for me. Port Royal, I'm excited for. Charlotte, I'm excited for. Hobstadt, Lake Ozark. So there's a lot of tracks that I feel pretty confident at. So we will see what happens. Ever drive an Outlaw kart, Tristan? Yes, I did. I raced Kyle Larson's race at, where was it? Cycle Land 2 or 3 times and did fairly well. And ran his kart one time at Millbridge and blew the motor. Let's see. James H., thank you, man. Appreciate it. Nick Lowe says, most impressive young driver. That's hard to say. I think Buddy Kofoid, Gio Selzy are 2 that stick out in my head. Midget ranks, Zeb Wise, Cannon McIntosh. Those would be probably the 4 that I think are talented and definitely will have good careers. Bill, yeah, I saw several Fords and Silver Crowns also. So pretty much Silver Crown cars have old Cup engines, the SP2 Chevy engine, or I'm not sure where the heads are from on the Fords, but they look nothing like any Ford engine that's been in a sprint car. Diane Botts, would you like to remain in the JGR 41 for long term? If I'm going to stay in sprint cars for the rest of my career and JGR as a team, I would love to be involved with them. But those 2 things are not 100% sure. So we'll just have to wait and see. If you started an Outlaw team today, who would you throw behind the wheel? I would say me. How excited would you be to see the 1A get a win? I mean, I felt terrible for him there at Stockton. He had the race won. He was the fastest guy. He deserved a win. Had a part failure. That was a bummer. So, I mean, I felt terrible for him. He deserved that one. Brandon Dolan says, "Man, you are the best YouTuber out there. I'm only 15 and run a street stock in Lernerville. Wanted to come and talk to you at some point, but I'm nervous to keep up the awesome driving." Don't be nervous, buddy. Just come up and say hello. I'm just a normal person. David Green said, "What happened in 2017 Knoxville? Something broke in the motor. I got back to see your win this year. Great job. Thank you, man. Appreciate that." The crank failed. One of the journals broke, I believe. So he looked at all the spark plugs, looked in the injector. Everything was fine. All the valves were there and didn't know what was wrong. So we pulled her apart and it was a broken crankshaft. We have a paid question here by Brady Wenin. Do you have any big plans for next year? By the way, can't wait to hopefully see you race at Cedar Lake next year. In July, love watching you guys race there. I love Cedar Lake, man. Hopefully we're there. I think every year they schedule a race. So do I have any big plans for next year? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Hope so. Should I get a Jason Johnson wrap on my helmet next? I mean, if you're a big Jason Johnson fan and want to express yourself that way, heck yeah, man. Do whatever you want. Diane says, "I love your confidence and also aggressive driving style. To see the JGR in victory lane is great." Thank you. I feel like I'm aggressive, but also passive. I feel there's several other drivers that are more aggressive than me, and just never try to put myself in a bad spot. I might give up some spots here or there, but at the end of the day, I know I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy to crash, at least not on purpose. Austin says, favorite one-day show? Man. Probably Lernerville Silver Cup. Love Lernerville. It's a decently paying race, and it's a fun part of the month of money. Favorite track size? Kind of touched on that earlier, and I would say 3/8 would be my favorite. Owen says, What NFL team is your favorite team? Denver Broncos. Not very proud right now. Pretty embarrassing start to the year for a lot of reasons. But I don't want to bore you with them. But Bradley Chubb just tore his ACL this weekend. down a pass rusher, but neither of those guys, Von Miller and him, weren't sacking the quarterback anyways. So not very impressed. Pretty disgusted, really. Do you like your car on the tight or loose side of handling? I mean, I guess tight side, but everybody wants a perfect race car, so you don't want to be tight or loose. But if you have a loose car, you could always get the wing back, so tighten your car up a little bit. Go Mo, love this question and answer. And thanks. Oh, wow, a lot of questions coming. And thanks for the insight into life on the road with the Outlaw Tour. Thank you, man. That was kind of the point of this, to show you guys behind the scenes what we do. And you guys got to keep feeding me stuff, what you guys want to see in the future. So I'll keep trying to make you guys happy. Matthew Lund, oh man, my favorite driver is a Broncos fan. Go Raiders. I mean, I'm not going to hate you if you like the Raiders. It's all good. Would you run a sprint car on dirt-covered Oswego Speedway? Yeah, heck yeah. It looks like this past year they had an awesome super dirt week there, and the race looked really, really good. The first year they had the race, it was really rough and didn't look very good. So looks like they did a way better job this past year, and probably have another good race there. Do you believe we will see James McFadden in a full-time driver in the Wicked Energy Gum car? I'm not sure. I mean, he probably has the best chance of ever to run the Outlaws next year, but that's up to Casey if he wants to race anymore or not, and it all comes down to sponsorship. If that team is funded, you never know, there might be a chance, but I don't know if James could run the World of Outlaws schedule and then still race for his team full-time in Australia, so we will see. Best local driver in Ohio. I would say this year is Cap Henry. He kind of seemed to have the most success. Didn't race against him much with the Outlaws, but seems like locally he's been the best this year. Craig Curtis says Kansas City Chiefs or New England Patriots. As a fan to watch, Kansas City Chiefs. But I honestly think the Patriots have a chance to go undefeated. Did not look good against the Bills this past week, but I'm sure they'll fix those issues, and they have an extremely good shot to go undefeated, in my opinion. Will you be signing this weekend at the Grove at all, Nick Lowe? Oh, yeah, I should be in a T-shirt trailer for some of the day, and definitely come by to the trailer after the races. We'll be signing autographs for a while. Who is your all-time favorite posse driver? I would say Lance Deweese. He was one of my favorite drivers growing up, and I would say he's my favorite. Sure would love to see the series come back to Devil's Bowl. I mean, I think we race there every year, so I don't see why not. We'll probably be there next year. Tucker Anderson, not sure exactly what you're asking for, but I'll give you a hello. Sorry, guys, if I missed your questions, but if you want to stick out, there we go. Let's see. The Wise 18 Racing. Will there be a 2019 diecast? So usually R&R handles all the diecast stuff, and we put in an order for them this year, and they end up not doing anybody's diecast. So that's a tough thing. They get made over in China, I believe, and I think R&R will be selling the molds and hopefully selling to somebody else that will put forth some more effort towards the diecast stuff, because a lot of people have been asking. So if diecasts become available, we will definitely have some for sure. Roughly what percentage of the cost to race is covered by sponsors? Jordan, I'm not sure if you're asking on the World of Outlaws side, like if the, say, FVP sponsors a World of Outlaw race, if they're covering a percentage of the race. I'm not really sure about that. If you're asking on the team side, I would say a big percentage. I would say 50% would be covered by sponsors, um, maybe more, maybe less. And then some people you bank on prize money, some people don't. So all depends. Got another paid question. Melissa from Marysville, Washington. I don't think you typed your question in, so if you just type it right now, I will answer it for you. You don't need to send anything else. Just type a question in there, and I'll answer whatever you need me to do. Who do you think should drive the ENR 11N next year? I'm not sure. We'll see. I think it's kind of confusing because uh, that's Ed Newmeister. So I think Cole Duncan ran in one car, Joey ran in another car. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to stick with what they got going. Someone offered you a truck series ride for a few races. Would you take it? I would extremely consider it. Want to run Eldora really, really bad. But yeah, I would. I wouldn't say I would take it. It depends on what team it's for. But if it's with a good team, I feel like I have nothing to lose. Another paid question. Oh, here we go. Melissa, do you get scared sometimes racing? Thank you, Melissa, by the way. Do I get scared? I feel if I'm at an unsafe racetrack and it's rained or they had the track extremely wet and fast, it definitely could be scary. I feel sprint car racing is still not a very safe sport in terms of others forms of circle track racing. So I wouldn't say I get scared, but it's definitely in the back of your mind, especially when you lose two fellow racers in one season. Plemisto, do you like the movie Monsters Inc.? My donation to the wedding. Thank you, buddy. Weddings get more and more expensive every year, and I loved Monsters Inc. as a little kid. I loved watching Monsters Inc. And I believe there's another one coming out, or another one did come out, but Mike Wazowski and all those guys, they were funny for sure. Brayden, thank you, buddy. I'll only do my best for you. I mean, I couldn't find a custom photo here on my sister's laptop. Not set up very good, and I tried taking a picture like 10 times, and they all came out terrible. Let's see. What torsion bars do you run in the left rear? I can't tell you that, but I could tell you that they're chalk sticks. If Kevin Swindell is able to return to racing, do you think he still got it? That's a tough question. I don't know if anybody has come back from getting paralyzed and have success in racing. I think mentally he's there. I think he could still sim race very well. But when it comes to the physical side, you definitely need a lot of strength to do so. So it's hard to answer those questions, but mentally he's all there, and he's a smart person. Drew with a paid question. Do you happen to have any insight on any World of Outlaw teams wanting to hire this offseason? Been trying to get in contact with a lot of teams, just no replies. Drew, I don't know what your experience is. I feel that you need to gain experience. Hopefully you're from an area that has a lot of weekly 410 racing. If you don't have your CDL, go out and get your CDL. People on the World of Outlaw Tour are always looking for guys with their CDL. So keep getting experience, get that CDL, and keep messaging and calling people on Outlaw teams. Never know. Thoughts on Mansfield Motor Speedway? I've never been. I would love to be there. Sucks that big race got rained out, but if there's any race paying $100,000, I want to be there. That's for sure. I'd love to see Bobby and Jackson some of the inside team videos on your YouTube channel. Diane, the problem is Bobby and Jax aren't there. I would say they've been to maybe 10 or 15 races this year. Jax is focused on school, and Bobby's at home taking care of him. So it's kind of hard to have them in the videos when they're not around. So, when they're around, I'll definitely show you. Thoughts on Cedar Lake? Somebody asked that before. I love Cedar Lake. I love Wisconsin, and fans are awesome. Tracks are awesome. Drew, another paid question. I worked with KLR last season, and yes, have a CDL. Like I said, just no replies. I mean, keep asking. You could start by asking the lower teams. If you could ask Shark Racing and all that, maybe they will. Brett Marks Racing. But I would just look at the World of Outlaw. Ask Craig Kinzer. They're always short-staffed. He's a guy that probably could always use the help. Paid question from Jack Cameron. Thank you, sir. Any plans race in Australia? I've been there 3 times. With the World of Outlaw Tour, it just makes it really tough. Racing 70 plus times a year. With the holidays, Chili Bowl, I run Chili Bowl every year. It just makes for a really, really short off season. And not saying that I won't go back, but I just like a little time off to relax, enjoy time with family and my fiance, and enjoy my hobbies. I've had my CDL for 5 years. Would be awesome to drive World of Outlaws Holler. Troy, definitely people don't hire people just to drive the truck. They definitely have to be some sort of a mechanic also, but you never know. Who picks first, the Redskins or the Broncos? I mean, I think they're both probably going to have the worst record. I don't even know. Oh, the Dolphins are going to try hard to do that too. So I think it's between them 3. I mean, the 49ers are improved this year. The Raiders are improved. The Cardinals aren't that great either. I'd say Dolphins, Redskins, Broncos, Cardinals. That's why I'm going top 4 picks. Was it always your dream to drive a 410 sprint car? No, it wasn't. I initially started racing on asphalt my whole life, and being in Connecticut, there was no dirt tracks there. So, with no dirt tracks, how could I watch dirt racing? So, as I got older, I started watching dirt racing, fell in love with it, and proud to be a World of Outlaw driver and do that for a living. Lots of questions here, guys. Here's another paid question from Flamisto. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Superpower, I would just say to be invincible. Super strength, I don't know, wouldn't be that cool. Fly would be pretty cool, but I guess to be invincible, to have armor, to hopefully never die, live forever. How do you change paid questions amount, anyone? I'm not sure. I've never done it. I think you maybe click on a couple options or type in your own. There might be 3 little dots that you could click on and maybe do a custom amount. But I'm not sure, buddy. Never done it before. Sinister Videos. My next race is Friday, Williams Grove, for a 2-day National Open in Mechanicsburg, PA. Do you have a lucky steering wheel or something? I have a carbon fiber IPC steering wheel. That my first race with it was at Peebly I-55 a couple years ago, and I won with it, and I've been racing with it ever since. Rip the lip or run the bottom? I mean, definitely when I first started, rip the lip, but now I feel it takes more skill, patience, setup, and everything to run the bottom when it's real slick and really thin. And I think I showed everybody that at where was that? In California. I was putting the bottom about 20 miles an hour. Hanford is where it was. So watch the Outlaw show at Hanford and show you I was able to putt the bottom before anybody else could. Like having a car that's better at a short run or long run. I mean, I like If there's a lot of cautions, I want a good one on the short run. If it goes green to checkered, I want one good on the long run. So I would say long run, but I mean, if there's untimely cautions, you having a good car in long runs doesn't mean crap. Maureen Gravel says, "Who's a better driver, your mom or your dad?" That's pretty tough. It's slim pickings there. I'd probably say my dad. But if we're racing, my mom. But I think my dad has a little better track record right now. Oh, geez. Lance DeWeese. Thanks, buddy. I don't know if the 69 is for your race number or, if that's a joke, but Danny Dietrich does probably fear you. Seems like he had a little bit of an up and down year. I hope maybe your guys aren't as good at Williams Grove, but hopefully me and you are racing for the win at the Grove. We've always been one of my favorites and idols, and hopefully we could battle for the win there. It'd be a lot of fun. I don't know if Danny's watching this, but we'll definitely have to relay the message over. Let's see. Have experience with rubber down at Williams Grove? Yes, I believe the 1 year I won the National Open, it started cleaning up or take rubber. I don't think Williams Grove actually rubbers up. I think it cleans up around the bottom, and the top of the track's dirty, and you just can't run it anymore. So I'm sure when I've been there before, it's taken rubber, though. Do you think the heat race format could make a short track NASCAR race more exciting for fans? Stands are half empty. I think so. I think they did that with the stages to try to shorten races up and have guys race for something. So you never know. Drew, my feed froze up. I'm not sure if it did or maybe it was on your end. Not anybody else said anything. So, I mean, we'll see. Matthew Lund, if you could drive any car, any track, which would it be? Being an open wheel guy, I'd choose Brickyard and Indy. I mean, being an American, the Indy 500 is the ultimate race. So that would definitely be high on the list. But I think it would be a Formula One car. Not sure what track because I don't know all the tracks very well. But I think Formula One is the pinnacle of all of racing, and they're the best, and they're the highest level. And I think everybody would like to run an F1 car. But maybe Abu Dhabi. They have a cool track. They got Ferrari World there. Would probably want to go check out them and race there. Monaco, yeah. See, I don't really know the tracks that well. I mean, Monaco's an awesome area, so we'll see. Hopefully, Mark Webber could hook me up with that. Who's your favorite late model driver? I like Jonathan Davenport. He's exciting to watch. Wins a lot of races. He was my teammate at Chili Bowl 1 year, so those are a couple reasons why. But I would say Jonathan Davenport. What is the secret to Donnie Schatz's success? I mean, if I knew that answer, I would have just as much success as him. But I think him being with Tony Stewart Racing, building a dynasty there, just good guys surrounding him, being a great driver, and sticking with somebody for 10 plus years. I'm going to wrap this up shortly, guys. Probably just a couple more minutes. Probably ended around an hour and a half. So, got any questions? Send them in, and hopefully I'll get to them. What sports did you play growing up? Dalton asked. My first sport I ever played was soccer, but didn't play it much after that. I played a lot of football and basketball. Loved both of those sports. Never was able to play baseball because of racing, but still love playing basketball today. And then football, I'll get hurt, and I can't do that. Do I personally know any late model drivers? I know Jonathan Davenport. I know who else do I know? Tim McCready, I know. Other than that, not too many guys, honestly. We just never get to race at the same place as them. Do I like Jackson Motorplex? Heck yes, I do. They've been doing a great job with the facility. They make it better and better every year, making the purse go up, making the event go up. I think they're talking about a 3 or 4 day weekend next year. So I'm all for, excuse me, more events for more days. So more 2, 3, 4 day events. I'm all for that. Watch any motocross or supercross? What's your guide to win the Monster Energy Cup this year? I watch it, but don't follow it that close to where I know all the new guys. I used to watch it more when I was a kid, when Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael always went at it, and I was a Jeremy McGrath fan. So I don't really know. Everybody kind of gets injured and retires now, so it's hard to keep up with the new people. All right, questions are flowing in. Troy 1287, more of an incentive for QuickTime may being put on the pole for the dash. I mean, I don't think you could have it where you QuickTime and start on the pole of the heat race, and then if you win the heat race, start on the pole of the dash. But I feel if it's a 4 heat race format, all the heat race winners should pull 1 through 4, and all the second place finishers should draw 5 through 8 in the dash. I feel it's very unfair if somebody quick times win their heat race and pulls a 7 or 8. I just don't think it's very fair, but that's just my opinion. Joe Applegate says, Jillian, are you from a racing family, and what is it like to date a World of Outlaw driver? Congrats to both of you. Thank you. She is not from racing at all. Didn't know what dirt racing or a sprint car was till she met me, and then she can answer the rest for you. Do you have any iRacing? Do you do any iRacing to get some kind of practice? No, I don't. Don't really have time. But I do it for fun. If somebody has that and go over their house, I like to play. How much inversion is fair in your opinion? I don't know. There's so many variables, but I don't think any inversion, because what would be the benefit of qualifying good? I feel NASCAR, Indycar, Formula One, if you qualify first, you start on the pole. Thoughts on Attica? That's one of the toughest places to race in the country. Local competition stout, qualifying stout, pill draw is very, very tough. But it's a fun place, passionate fans. Kotler Dangle 22. How do I get sponsors if I'm just starting out? Knocking on people's doors, asking local businesses, doing a fundraiser. There's a lot of different ways, but if you start going to the races and people see that you do well, or you're passionate about it, people will help you out. XCM 1X Port Royal one coming up. I hope so. I feel like we've been extremely good on big tracks this year, and I hope so, man. It's always a place I ran decent at, but never gotten a win. Amen. So had a couple of podiums, just never a win. Does Jillian start like dirt racing more if she watches you? I mean, she just likes to support me. I don't think she cares if it's dirt or asphalt. No matter what I'm doing, I think she'll support me and be happy. But if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't be watching sprint car racing at all. That's for sure. Thoughts on Fremont Speedway? We used to race there a lot and don't get to run there anymore. So hopefully we have an Outlaw show there someday. And I think we ran third there last time I was there. So have a lot of races there with the All-Stars in my career. All right, guys. So just about a minute or two left. If anybody has any questions they want to ask here right at the end, I'll try to get to them. But just wanted to thank everybody for making this YouTube thing possible. We continue to grow every week, and you guys are doing great at giving me suggestions, and hopefully I'm fulfilling your needs. Just always let me know in the comment section what you guys would like to see in the future, and I will try to keep that going. But very happy with my team this year with JJR, Patrick, Philip, and Tyler. There's so many sponsors that help us out, and really cool to keep Jason's deal going. So As far as a lot of rumors for next year, I don't know what's going to be happening yet. But like I said, I will be letting you guys know here sooner than later. And just let you guys know it's all good and positive things. So just have to hold on, wait, and see. How do you stay fit eating truck stop food at 2 a.m.? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm physically fit very well, but I'm better than others. It's tough. I think my younger metabolism keeps me decently thin, but I'm sure as I get older, it's going to be a lot harder. Adam, I'm happy I fulfill your needs, buddy. That's what I'm here for. Does Johnny Gibson wear white pants every day? No, I think it's just a race day routine, but not every race day. So, CJ wants to know who's the better driver. I mean, CJ, you scare me behind the wheel, to be honest, with all due respect. You got a lot of road rage. Definitely too emotional behind the wheel. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to end this here. I'll probably be doing this. I don't know if it'll be once a week, but maybe once a month, just to keep everybody up to date what's going on. I'll definitely maybe have surprise guests. Maybe I will have other drivers, maybe crew guys on here, and you could ask the crew guys things, or ask drivers. Maybe I don't know if I could get Rico on here, but maybe some other World of Outlaw drivers, and have some fun. So thank you guys for everything, and Wise 18 Racing, we want you to get 50 wins. Go get it. I'm going to try like hell, man. It makes me frustrated when I finish on the podium and not get wins where I feel like I could have did a couple things different to do. So I'm going to try hard. We got 10 races. Got to win 3 more. Thank you, guys. Thanks for everything. We'll see you next time. I'll be posting some videos here this week. Got some cool stuff to show you. Thank you very much. We'll see you later. Thanks.